What's good, people? It's your boy Steve-O, and we are a few weeks away before the NBA season begins. And yes, just like you watching this video, I can't wait. And I know it's been kind of a minute since I last uploaded, and I apologize.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
How come you don't want me, man?
You need to see.
But since I've been gone, no pun intended, we have hit over 700 subscribers, and I thank you guys for the support. And like I said before, we're only beginning. Road to 1K. I guess the world needed my videos because we have YouTubers winning boxing fights, Kawhi Leonard is a video vixen now, and the human race has a weird obsession with crates. Yeah, we need the NBA back ASAP. But in today's video, we're going to go over 7 teams that you're going to want to check out in this upcoming season. Teams that may not have the biggest names or even in the biggest market, but have up-and-coming stars and loads of talent that will have you entertained for the bettermost part of the season. Now, there are more than 7 teams that will be exciting to watch next year, but these are my top 7 teams you should check out whenever they step out on the hardwood floor. With that being said, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the first team, the Charlotte Hornets. Now, the Hornets got themselves a very young squad that was competitive in last season. LaMelo Ball won Rookie of the Year last year, and he looked great that entire season. But it wasn't just him. Miles Bridges, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, we're not going to talk about it.
Simp alert. Simp alert.
The Hornets were turning heads with their play last year, but of course the injury bug can mess up your entire season, and with guys dealing with injuries and out for the season, it put a seal on any potential playoff hope last year. But it's a new year, and the Hornets are a team you shouldn't overlook. LaMelo Ball, who I'm very high on, and you should check out one of my videos which I made about him, has the ability to make another leap this year and possibly make the All-Star team if the Hornets perform well. They brought back every key piece to the team last year, added in quality vets in Mason Plumlee and Kelly Oubre, and drafted 2 guys that could have been drafted earlier in James Bouknight and Kai Jones. And Kai decided he wanted to go higher on this play. Sheesh!
Because I got high, because I got high, because I got high. La da 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 da.
All in all, be on the lookout for the Hornets this year and their commentator. Number 2, the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have been on a rise ever since they drafted Ja Morant in 2019, and they look even promising going into this next season. We're talking about a team that drafted a franchise point guard and have been in playoff contention since then. Ja and the Grizzlies in last year's postseason played exceptionally well, winning 2 games in the knockout tournament to make the playoffs, beating the Spurs and the Warriors on the road, and shocked the Jazz in game 1 of the first round, still in the first game. Yeah, they lost that series, I know, but we saw Ja's greatest performance as a pro player in that series, and we saw this young roster look like it can build going into the future. And you bet yourself they will. Dillon Brooks, aka Evil Danny Green, has upped the scoring in the last 2 seasons and can harass and make it hard for opposing team playmakers. Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't play most of last season due to injury, but the former number 4 overall pick, who is only 22 years old, still has potential to become a franchise piece for the Grizzlies if he plays well this season. Add in solid players such as Kyle Anderson and Steven Adams, who was acquired through trade this offseason, and they're both players that are familiar with high-stakes playoff games and have been around the league. And the biggest key is Ja. I expect Ja to make another leap and potentially become an all-star this year. He has the tools to do so, and if he can perform at a high level, the Grizzlies will not only win games, but will be very entertaining to watch this year. Number 3, the Golden State Warriors. Now, if you honestly think that the original Warriors Big 3, sorry KD, that made it to 5 straight trips to the NBA Finals wouldn't be on this list, you're crazy. After what Steph did last year with an injury-riddled team and without a consistent number 2 beside him, what he'll be able to do this year with a reloaded Warriors team should be exciting. An MVP caliber season and scoring leader?
Dang, that's tough.
Klay Thompson is back and hasn't played an NBA game since June of 2019, and I guarantee you he has a lot to prove to the critics that think he'll take a massive step back in production. Just knowing the Splash Brothers are back should pose nightmares for opposing defenses in the NBA when the Warriors are up next on the schedule. Draymond is still here, and as much as his offensive game has reduced, he's still one of the best defenders in the NBA and a true leader for the Golden State Warriors. Andrew Wiggins had an exceptional season on both ends of the court, especially on defense, and I personally believe he would thrive as a third option behind Steph and Klay. And the Warriors signed veteran swingman Otto Porter, who was a good 3-and-D player in today's game. Oh, and they added Iguodala back too.
I want Iguodala.
But this isn't a team full of veterans. Add in Juan Toscano-Anderson and Jordan Poole, who were quality role players in last year, James Wiseman, last year's number 2 overall pick, who still has insane promise to be one of the better versatile big men in the future, and I cannot fail to mention the fact that the Warriors were able to draft Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, who are high-level prospects going into the draft. All in all, the Warriors are deep and full of talent and led by Steph Curry. The Warriors could be a tough outing for any team that they face. And let's not forget, they can still make a huge trade. You heard it here first. Number 4, the Houston Rockets. I won't lie, I did a whole video about the young core of my Houston Rockets and how the future is bright, so I won't waste your time, but definitely check out that video for sure, link is in the description. But news came out that the Rockets and John Wall both mutually agreed on searching for a trade for the All-Star guard and won't have him suit up for any games for the Rockets this season. This means the youth movement in Houston is underway, and Houston has a lot of youth. The Rockets may not be a playoff team this year, but with the new faces added, such as the number 2 overall pick and future Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green, the Rockets will be a fun young team to watch this year. Christian Wood, who joined the team last year, has all the tools to become an all-star caliber player, and we'll see if he takes another big step in his production on the court. And with John Wall on the way out, that means the keys are given to Kevin Porter Jr. to run the show at point guard, who was exciting in his first season as a Houston Rocket. From the young talent and promising core, I can't wait to see what the Rockets do when they take the floor this season. From my house though, because I can't afford them tickets right now. But maybe if you subscribe, that might change something, Let's see, subscribe. Number 5, the Detroit Pistons.
Shout out, hold on. Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying?
This one right here.
Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
I'm not even a Piston fan, but you're telling me all Detroit didn't get hype after seeing this? Detroit has been mid for the past 10 years, but the horizon's looking clear in their Motor City. Cade Cunningham, the number 1 overall pick, has a skill set on both ends of the ball to make an immediate impact, and the Pistons will need him to bring this franchise out of the mud. Detroit was bad last year, but they did have 2 rookies that made All-NBA rookie teams in Sadiq Bey, who looks like a reliable scorer and shooter from distance, and Isaiah Stewart, who led all rookies in rebounding last year. Jeremy Grant returns, who put up 22 points per game last year and was in the conversation for the Most Improved Player award. Cade at point guard should free up the court even more for Grant this year and allow him to put up more production on the offensive end of the ball. I also like the addition of Kelly Olynyk onto this roster. Last year, Olynyk put up career highs in points in Houston after the trade deadline, and it looks like Kelly Olynyk can still provide some key production for this very young team. Like the Rockets, don't expect this team to make any huge noise this year, but the promise of Cade Cunningham and the young talent on this Pistons team is too much to ignore. I didn't even mention guys such as Killian Hayes, Luke Garza, and Hamidou Diallo, who may not be the most known young prospects, but it'll be exciting to see what the Pistons do next season as they build around the future of their franchise, Cade Cunningham. Number 6, the New York Knicks. I think it's safe to say that New York is back, the Mecca is back, and the Knicks are back to relevancy. Going into last season, critics and sports pundits didn't think the Knicks would make any noise last year, and the Knicks went on to win the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, shocking the entire NBA universe. Yeah, they lost in the first round, but the Knicks re-upped this offseason by bringing back every key player from last year, re-signed their all-star Julius Randle, and went into free agency and were able to get Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, 2 guys that can give you nearly 20 points a night. I'll talk deeply about the Knicks in my free agency grading video, and of course, you gotta check it out. Link is in the description. If you missed the Knicks tape last year because you weren't a believer, now is the time to set your DVR. New York doesn't have the best roster in the NBA, but it does have one of the most complete rosters in the NBA, full of young guys who can ball, such as Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, and newest rookie, Quentin Grimes, go Cougs, and older vets in Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, and Taj Gibson. Julius now has much more offensive help, and this will only allow him to play well and thrive in Tom Thibodeau's system. The Knicks will be a fun team to watch, and hopefully we're able to see these guys win a lot more games in this upcoming season. Unless you're a Nets fan, or a Celtics fan, or a Sixers fan. Okay, maybe not everybody. Number 7, the Atlanta Hawks. ATL had to be on this list. Similar to the Knicks, no one expected the Hawks to perform so well last year and eventually come 2 wins short of making it to the NBA Finals, but the Atlanta Hawks did just that in last season while dealing with early season issues. Overcoming that, this team is supposed to be a very big threat in the Eastern Conference for years to come, so you better not miss out on these guys now. Trae Young, Ice Trae, has shown that he's not Steph Curry, but is his own entity and can not only shoot from deep, but can be a playmaker at the best level in today's game. His game is only going to flourish, and the Atlanta Hawks front office understands that, and re-signing John Collins, who can space the floor out and catch bodies at the rim whenever he looks to jump, was a great decision. Clint Capella has now turned into one of the best rebounders in the NBA, and he poses a threat for any opposing guard who decides to attack the rim. But it doesn't stop there. This team is loaded with young talent. Kevin Red Mamba Herter, Onyeka Okongwu, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, all guys that have shown glimpses of something special in last year and in the postseason. Going into the new season, the Hawks will have to prove again to the entire NBA that last year wasn't a fluke and they're going to have to be reckoned with. And I believe it's doable. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a quality piece on this team, and I think he'll continue to provide valuable production for this team. And older vets such as Lou Will and Danilo Gallinari, whose production may drop, I still think in high stakes games, they'll provide immense value on the court because of their experience. But like I said before, the amount of talent on this team, especially at a young age than most teams, is impressive and very live. And I think they'll have a lot of games this season that'll be must-see TV. Let's see how far the Hawks can go, led by Ice Trae. What do you guys think? Comment below which NBA teams you're looking forward to watching next season. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date with all my content. More videos on the way, road to 1K coming soon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, stay on beat.